So let's look at what we're going to do when we first start lead core fishing. The first thing you're going to want to do is basically kind of randomly put out some line. And you want to make sure then that the bait is close to the bottom. So what you've got to do is actually see that bait start to hit the bottom. If it isn't hitting bottom, let out some more line. Maybe let out another 20 feet, another 20 feet, until finally it starts to tick bottom, and then you're going to reel up a little line and lift it up. Now this is where a line counter really comes in handy, because oftentimes that's not an even number of colors of lead. You know, it might not be 2 colors, 3 colors. It might be 142 feet. So the good thing is once you figure that out one time, if you've got a line counter, you can immediately put back out 142 feet. Now you're right back down in that fish zone. All right, so let's take a look at some of the components of this system that let us run this lead core. First of all, you don't connect lead core right to your lure. You're going to want some kind of a leader. Now in this case, we've still got some of the old grass and brush and things down there, so you can get debris on your lure. You want to use a no stretch leader in that situation, because then you can watch that lure vibrate and know when you pick up some junk. I use about a 15-foot no stretch leader of fire line. To that then, we're going to have our lead core. Now the lead core is going to be 18-pound test lead core. That's a real good diving lead core. It gets your bait down quickly, but yet it's thick enough so that when you pick up and slow down on your speeds, it will actually change what depth that crankbait is actually running. Now, you're going to want a fairly flexible rod. We're running 2 different rods in this case. We're running a 10-foot rod far out to the side, and then we're running a shorter 8.5-foot rod inside, but all of them have a very flexible tip on them, so that when that fish hits in this no stretch situation, you got a little shock absorption. Now many times to get your bait down to the right depth, you're going to have to let out a lot of line, 150 feet, 180 feet. Well, Jim has come up with a method with a lead ball that you add to this lead core that really helps with that. I'm going to let him describe that.
So when we're cranking really deep, I like to use what I call a heavy ball. And what that is, it's an 8-ounce lead weight over the top of this red offshore release. This release is very important. It's a release that has a pin in it. And to place it on the line, you put that lead core deep in that clip and the pin goes over the top, and that'll keep it on your line. I like to use this heavy ball system anytime I'm running lead core back 150 feet or more. If we were to take our 4 lead lines and put them back 200 feet, get those lures wobbling back there, maybe we get a fish on, maybe we get a little bit of bottom debris, all that stuff's going to come together and we're probably going to have a big knotted up mess. So what I like to do is take this heavy ball and put it on my front line, clip it on the line, and then that gives me a nice spread between my 2 lines. I got my one rod way out the back and I got my other rod shorter and in front of it. So the 2 things are, you get the nice spread between your lines and it's very quick to deploy. You drop this thing down, plunk, it's gone, you're fishing fast.